Welcome to Home Buying Made Easy. I am Michael, and we are getting started right now talking about all things real estate and mortgage as it relates to home buying journey. And we do this so that you can be better educated, whether you're a first-time home buyer, an investor, a veteran, it really doesn't matter. We're here to help out any way we can. If you ever have questions or want to know anything about home buying journey, we'll be glad to help any way we can. Shoot us a text, give us a call, or send us an email, and we'll gladly help you any way that we can. I'm here with Rachel, and she's here. She always comes up with these questions, and I think she tries to play like stump the loan officer or something. I don't know. She's always got these questions like, hey, can you tell me the airspeed velocity of a laden swallow?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I do respond appropriately.
Yeah.
African or European?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so what do you have for us today in the realm of all things real estate mortgage questioning?
Well, we're going to make home buying made easy.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, we're going to make it easy. So, the question today, or the topic today, is going to be what happens after you're under contract. So with appraisals and inspections, with all the things post under contract.
Gotcha. Okay, well, there's two different sides to this. So there's a real estate side to this, and there's a mortgage side to this. So they kind of work in parallel, but there's a little bit of a delay on the mortgage side to make sure that everything's in good shape on the real estate side. Mm-hmm. So typically when I get a contract from a real estate agent that, as a lender, if I get a contract in, I'm immediately going to start figuring out where we're going to send this loan. Like, what lender are we going to use? What's going to be the best rate? Where are we going to find the best possible deal for our client? So that's kind of where we're starting. We also kind of put the brakes on for just a moment, because many times a real estate agent on the real estate side is going to do a home inspection. They want to make sure everything's clear on the home inspection before we go too far into doing the mortgage. So let's jump over and we'll talk real estate first, then we'll come back, we'll talk mortgage, then we'll kind of talk about how it's parallel. Yeah. On the real estate side, the first thing you do after you get under contract is you turn in your earnest money, and that usually has to be turned in within 3 to 5 days. Then after that, your real estate agent or transaction coordinator for your real estate agent will help by ordering a home inspection. That home inspection is usually done in the first few days, and you'll have a certain amount of time to get that done, get it back, and then decide, do you want to ask the seller to repair any of the items that are on the home inspection? Now, I always like to tell people a home inspector's job is to point out everything. Their job is to look for what's wrong. So they're going to find everything hopefully find everything that's wrong, or a lot of stuff that's wrong with the house. That doesn't mean that you can just take that list and say, okay, so I need you to fix every outlet and fix this and fix that drip and fix this and fix that. You would like to think that the seller took good care of their home, but there's always little things, nooks and crannies and nicks and little things on the side of the drywall. There's just things you're not going to see that are repaired. So the home inspector's job, though, is to point all of it out. And then after they point all of that out, you look at the things like, oh yeah, I can fix that, or this is something super easy, or we need to change that light bulb, or there could be just about anything. In the meantime, if there is something that's major, like let's say I tested the dishwasher and it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Well, that's major. That's not minor. That's something you may want to say, hey seller, I need you to fix the dishwasher. Otherwise we're not, we need a credit for it, or we're going to have to put a new dishwasher in or something. A lot of times that's a negotiating tool. So I have a lot of agent partners that will negotiate, hey, you know what, this is an older heating and air unit. It still works, but we're going to have to start saving for it now. So since my buyer is going to have to start saving for it now, we want a $5,000 discount or $5,000 off the cost of the house as a credit so that we can start saving money now for the new heating and air. There's a lot of my agent partners will do that. But the first step is the earnest money, then the home inspection. Then after the home inspection, most likely we'll move over to the loan side, because simultaneously we're getting the initial documents out, which is like the mortgage documents. They're called disclosures. They're the first documents that come out to you. We're also going to be at some point ordering the appraisal. So if you get the home inspection done, everything looks okay, the real estate agent's usually going to text me or call me and say, hey, everything's okay on the real estate side, on the inspection, go ahead and order the appraisal. At that point, we're going to order the appraisal, and we're rocking and rolling through the loan process. We've probably already submitted documents into underwriting. And I guess from there, most of the time you're going to have a list of items that come back from underwriting. Sometimes it's real estate related, sometimes it's loan related. They may want, let's say, a verification of employment, or maybe they want an extra pay stub, or they have another bank statement they want, or, underwriter could come back with that list. They could also come back and say, hey, I saw on the appraisal that there was a problem with one of the items on the appraisal. There's, depending on the type of loan, there wasn't a handrail up, or something that needs to be done. So the lender could come back and say, hey, we need to get that fixed if we're going to move forward with a loan that needs to have a handrail or something like that. But that's kind of after the contract, you're going to go with earnest money, and you'll be in close communication with your loan officer or your loan officer's assistant. You'll also be in contact with your realtor and maybe a realtor assistant or transaction coordinator as well. And their job is to help push this through the process. So you don't have to necessarily know all of the pieces, but it is good to know the ins and outs of, hey, I'm going to need to prepare. Go ahead, and I'm paying for an earnest money deposit. I'm paying for a home inspection. And depending on where you're located in the country, home inspections can range from $200 to $700, $800. They can be super expensive. Appraisals are the same way. Appraisals could be $4, $5, $6, $7. If it's a high dollar house, it could be even more than that, $800, $900, $1,000. There's a range that usually they are, but ultimately you want to be prepared, because you're putting earnest money down. That's the initial deposit, if you want to call that. Then you're also paying for a home inspection, and you're paying for an appraisal. Those are probably the big three. Yeah. Question we get a lot about earnest money. Earnest money is turned in as a deposit. It is not their money. It is your money that is being turned in as a deposit. So what that means is, if you have, let's say you have to have a down payment and you're paying closing costs and you have to come up with $20,000, but you have an earnest money deposit of $2,000. That means you're not coming up with $20,000 plus $2,000. That means you turn in that $2,000 as earnest money deposit. And then if we're at $20,000 is what you need, that $2,000 comes off that total, and now you're bringing $18,000. That's still your money. A lot of times I get this question of, hey, what happens to that money? That's your money. It's going towards closing costs. Is it going towards your down payment or whatever? Yeah. So just thought I'd bring that up too.
Yeah. So if hypothetically I'm under contract and then something in the process of in between, hey, I'm under contract, to let's say appraisal or inspection, you're like, I don't actually want this anymore. What's the process of that with the earnest money you put in? And like, how does that all work?
That can be tricky. There's a couple of ways that could go. If you are getting a home inspection and then the home inspection comes back terrible, and you're just like, I don't want this house anymore. Well, at that point, you would send a notification to them saying, hey, we did a home inspection on the house and it's not what we want. We're going to back out. You would tell your realtor that. Your realtor then would send a notification to the seller, letting them know they're not going to move forward and they're going to terminate. At that point, there's what's called a mutual release. A mutual release is you're going to sign it as the buyer. The seller's going to sign it as a seller. Brokers will sign it. Everybody will sign it. And then that gets sent over to the title company that's holding the earnest money. And then they refund your earnest money.
Okay.
Now, there's times where that doesn't happen because I've had times where somebody went through the inspection and the inspection period was done and they didn't ask for anything, went through the appraisal and the appraisal was fine and they didn't do anything. The loan was good. Everything was fine with the loan. And then they just say, you know what? I don't want to move forward. They lost their earnest money. You can't just wake up one day and say, like, you're under a contract.
Right.
Like it's an agreement that you're going to buy a house. And unless something terribly wrong goes on, like an inspection problem, an appraisal that doesn't make the value you need it to, or underwriting disaster of some sort.
Yeah.
Like you have to go through with it. You
can't
can't just
one day.
I don't want to buy today.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up. Does it cover the question that you were wanting to know? Like what happens after you get a contract or after you're under contract?
If anybody else has any other questions, they can just send it in. And
Yep. Send it in, reach out. You're welcome to ask any questions you want. We'll be glad to help you walk through the process. If you're interested in any of the books, Home Buying Secrets, Home Buying Made Easy for Veterans, Home Buying Secrets for Veterans, or any of that, I'll gladly send you a copy for free. You don't have to buy them. You can buy them on Amazon if you really want to. That's great. But if you don't want to and you just want me to send you one, I'll be glad to send you one for free. All you have to do is reach out to me so I can get your information and we'll get you a book. We'll see you next video.